Let me make this crystal clear. You can't escape hard work. No matter how many mindset videos you watch, no matter how many affirmations you whisper in the mirror, if you're not bleeding effort into your goals daily, you're staying exactly where you are, average. And average is crowded. It's full of people who complain, who blame the system, their parents, their boss, but never point the finger at the one person truly responsible themselves. You're not stuck because the world is unfair. You're stuck because you think there's a way to win without sacrifice. There isn't. You want freedom, pay the price. You want respect, earn it. You want wealth, build it. There's no genie, no hack, no handout coming. Most people lose because they avoid discomfort. They want six-pack results with potato chip discipline. They'll scroll for hours, but can't spend 30 minutes improving their craft. That's not a work ethic. That's a fantasy, and fantasies don't make you rich. Work does. You need to understand something. The grind doesn't care about your feelings. It rewards consistency. You don't need motivation, you need standards. High ones. The kind that make you show up tired. The kind that make you rehearse when no one is watching. That's where the edge is. That's where winners are made. There are two types of people in this world: the ones who find excuses and the ones who find a way. The ones who wait and the ones who hunt. You think you're going to reach greatness by sitting in your comfort zone. Comfort is a prison built with your own hands. You'll never escape hard work because that's the currency of success. The sooner you embrace it, the sooner you rise. So stop hiding, stop softening the truth. Stop pretending you're doing enough. You're not. But you can, starting today. Work so hard you embarrass who you were yesterday. That's the only escape. Forward. Discipline is not optional, it's survival. People throw the word discipline around like it's some inspirational quote to post on social media with a fancy background. But in reality, discipline is the sharp edge that cuts through mediocrity. If you don't have discipline, you're not in control. You're not even in the game. You're a spectator watching others build, lead, conquer. While you sit, scroll, and fantasize, the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. And the only people who execute consistently are the ones who've made discipline a non-negotiable part of their lives. Let's get something straight. You don't wake up disciplined. You don't read a book and suddenly become unstoppable. Discipline is built in the trenches. It's built when you wake up at 5 a.m. even though your body is screaming to sleep. It's built when you say no to the party because your goal demands focus. It's built when you train, study, build, and repeat, even when motivation is dead. Motivation is weak. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline, that's the fire that burns long after your motivation is gone. You think it's okay to take it easy because you're tired, because it's raining, because your friends are going out. That's exactly why you're losing. Life doesn't care how you feel. Success doesn't pause for your convenience. And your enemies, the ones competing for the same goals, same money, same opportunities, they're not waiting for you to feel ready. They're working while you're whining. They're building while you're binge watching. Every day you lack discipline is a day they get ahead. Let that burn in your mind. Now ask yourself, how badly do you want it? Everyone says they want to be successful, but saying it and living it are two different realities. If you wanted it like you say you do, your actions would show it. You wouldn't need reminders. You wouldn't need someone to push you. You would push yourself. That's what discipline is. Doing what must be done whether you feel like it or not. No complaints, no shortcuts, just results. You have to become ruthless with your standards. Hold yourself accountable like your life depends on it. Because it does. If you don't develop discipline, you will be ruled by distraction. And distraction is the silent killer of potential. It lures you in with comfort, ease, and instant gratification. It gives you nothing in return. You blink, and suddenly years are gone. Opportunities missed, dreams unfulfilled, all because you lack the discipline to stay on course. This world isn't fair, and it never will be. But discipline levels the playing field. You can come from nothing and still rise to everything if your discipline is relentless. You don't need the best connections, the best background, or even the most talent. But you do need to outwork everyone in the room. You do need to be the one who shows up, stays late, and does the hard things when everyone else quits. That's how you win. So make the decision right now. No more excuses. No more delays. Decide that you will live with discipline, not just talk about it. Because without it, you'll keep spinning in circles, always wondering why nothing changes. Discipline is not optional. It's not a motivational tool. It's survival. In a world full of soft habits and weak minds, be the one who is unshakable. Be the one who wakes up every day and does what needs to be done without negotiation. That's how you rise. That's how you dominate. That's how you survive. Comfort is the greatest lie you've been sold. Since the day you were born, society has been programming you to believe that life is about being comfortable. Stay safe. Play it smart. Avoid stress. Take the easy road. Buy things that make you feel good. Watch content that distracts you, and settle for a life that looks normal. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Comfort is a cage, and the longer you stay in it, the smaller your world becomes. Every great achievement, every empire, every success story, they were born in discomfort, in chaos, in risk, never in comfort. You've been tricked, conditioned to believe that the goal of life is to relax. That your dream is to make just enough money to not have to try anymore. But how do you grow if you're always avoiding the struggle? How do you rise if you're always reaching for convenience? You don't. You stay stuck, and you slowly start decaying from the inside because deep down you know you were meant for more. Your soul knows that growth lives in the pain, in the sweat, in the grind, but you numb it with entertainment, with comfort food, with distractions that keep you pacified while time slips through your fingers. Do you know why most people fail? It's not because they aren't talented. It's not because they lack intelligence. It's because they're addicted to feeling good. They're so scared of temporary pain that they forfeit permanent greatness. They'd rather sleep in than train, rather scroll than build, rather talk about dreams than suffer to make them real. The lie of comfort tells them it's okay, that they'll start tomorrow, that they deserve to rest. But tomorrow never comes for the undisciplined, and nobody gets what they deserve. You get what you honor. If you truly want to separate yourself from the average, you have to develop a savage relationship with discomfort. You have to chase it. Wake up early when it's cold. Speak when you're afraid. Take that risk when it feels impossible. Go the extra round when your body begs to stop. That's where the edge is. That's where your future self is forged. Comfort won't get you there. Sacrifice will. Relentlessness will. And pain, yes, pain, will guide you like a mentor, teaching you everything weakness tries to hide from you. The system isn't designed to make you strong. It's designed to keep you quiet and compliant. Wake up. They want you comfortable so you never fight back, so you never break the chains they wrapped around your ambition. The only way out is through discomfort, through choosing the hard road again and again until it becomes your default setting, until people look at you and say, how does he keep going? And the answer is simple, because you refuse to be seduced by comfort. You chose the grind. You chose discomfort not as a punishment, but as a path to dominance. Look around. The world's soft. People crumble under pressure because they were never taught to embrace it. They run at the first sign of difficulty, but not you. You're not here to fit in. You're not here to coast. You're here to build a legacy. And nothing legendary has ever come from comfort. You want a different life. Start doing what 99% won't. Get uncomfortable, get disciplined, and stay there. Because comfort is the dream they sold you to keep you small, and discomfort is the truth that will set you free. Your success is directly proportional to your pain tolerance. That's not a motivational catchphrase. It's a brutal mathematical truth of life. The more pain you're willing to endure, the more you're going to accomplish. Not the more talent you have. Not how smart you are. Not how many connections you hold. It's how much you're willing to suffer. How far you're willing to go when every part of your body is screaming for relief. That's where the real gains are made. That's where success is born. In the fire, not the comfort zone. People look at high achievers and think they're special. They think these people were gifted something at birth. But what they don't see is the pain they walked through, the failures, the ridicule, the long nights, the anxiety, the exhaustion, the sacrifices. These people didn't get there by avoiding pain. They got there by becoming immune to it. They took the hits, and instead of backing down, they stood taller. They used pain like fuel, while others used an excuse to quit. That's the difference. That's the edge. Everyone wants to win, but nobody wants to bleed. Everyone wants the spotlight, but no one wants to grind in the dark. They want success to be easy, fun, and convenient. But that version doesn't exist. You either pay the price through discomfort, or you settle for a life that never even brushes against your potential. You have to choose. And here's the truth. If you're soft, if you run from pain, if you tap out every time it gets uncomfortable, you will never build anything worth remembering. You'll be ordinary, and deep down, you'll know it. There will be moments when life hits harder than you imagined. When you're broke, tired, disrespected, misunderstood. That's when most people fold. But that's when you're supposed to rise. That's when you lean into the pain and let it sharpen you. That's when your pain tolerance decides your destiny. If you can't carry the weight, you don't get the crown. It's as simple as that. The pain is not a sign to stop. It's a test to prove you're worthy. Because once you can handle pressure that would crush others, you become unstoppable. Pain tolerance is what separates leaders from followers, winners from spectators. It's what takes you from talking about your dreams to living them. You don't level up through ease. You level up through battles, through hunger, through rejection, through showing up when every part of you wants to quit. And the more you can take, the more you can build. Your threshold for pain becomes your competitive advantage. The world hands you what you're strong enough to hold, and the only way to grow stronger is to stretch that threshold daily. You stretch it by running toward what others avoid, by doing what's hard again and again and again. So next time you're hurting, next time you're doubting yourself, remember this: you're exactly where you're supposed to be. The pain is part of the process. The pressure is building you. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt, stronger, smarter, hungrier. Your pain tolerance is shaping your future. Embrace it. Because the people who win at the highest level are not the ones who feel the least pain. They're the ones who can endure the most. They don't break. They bend, adapt, and keep going. That's what makes them legends. That's what will make you one. You can't outsource your greatness. No one is coming to hand it to you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your mentor, not some miracle. This is the raw reality people avoid because it's easier to believe that someone will eventually come along and help you fix your life. But they won't. It's your job, your responsibility, your burden, and until you accept that, you will stay weak, stay stuck, and stay irrelevant. The longer you wait for someone else to solve your problems, the deeper you sink into mediocrity. People love the idea of success, but they hate the reality of what it takes. They want the result without owning the process. They want the body without training, the money without risk, the power without the pain. But the truth is brutal. Everything you want requires your blood, your sweat, your decision. You have to be the one who shows up when nobody's watching. You have to be the one who keeps going when everything is stacked against you. You can't hand that role to anyone else. You can't delegate discipline. You can't hire someone to struggle for you. Greatness is non-transferable. If you want something extraordinary, you have to become extraordinary. That means doing the work no one else is willing to do. It means making sacrifices no one else will make. You have to become your own savior. And once you embrace that, you become dangerous. Because now, your progress is no longer dependent on circumstances, on people, on handouts. You control the pace, you control the outcome. That kind of ownership is rare, And it's exactly what separates winners from wishers. Stop asking for help in areas where you haven't even helped yourself. Don't cry about results when you haven't given everything. There's a world of difference between needing guidance and expecting rescue. If someone gives you direction, take it. But don't expect them to carry you. They won't. They've got their own war to fight. Everyone is battling something. So if you're not ready to carry your own weight, you'll always be a burden. Always be at the mercy of others. And that's not power. That's dependency dressed in delusion. Every minute you spend waiting is a minute you could have been building. Every excuse you make is one more brick in the wall between you and the life you want. You want freedom, you want success, then earn it. Grind for it. Bleed for it. Because nobody cares about your potential if you don't execute. Nobody remembers the ones who almost made it. The world honors finishers, not dreamers. And the only way you finish anything is by taking full, brutal responsibility for every inch of your progress. There's no secret sauce, no hack, no shortcut. It's you versus your excuses every single day. It's you looking in the mirror and realizing that everything you hate about your life is something you've allowed. And everything you want is something you can create. But it's not going to be gifted to you. You've got to fight for it with a level of aggression and consistency most people can't comprehend. You have to be obsessed with owning every piece of your destiny. That's what it takes. That's what it will always take. So stop waiting. Stop wishing. Start building. Because no one's coming. And that's exactly why you need to start becoming. Hard work isn't just a choice. It's the only real currency that buys you freedom. Everything else is a lie designed to distract you. You don't become successful by accident. You don't stumble into a great life, a strong body, a disciplined mind, or financial power. These things are earned with hours, with sweat, with sacrifice. But people today are allergic to effort. They want soft options. They want life to be easy, fair, and smooth. But life isn't built for the weak. It respects the grinders, the ones who push through when they're tired, the ones who train when no one's watching, the ones who keep building when it feels pointless. That's where the power comes from. That's what separates the elite from the average. You can't cheat the process. You can't skip the steps. You either put in the reps or you stay weak. You either do the boring work daily or you stay broke, unnoticed, and unfulfilled. It's that simple. The world doesn't care about your potential. It only rewards the results. And those results are purchased through hard, unrelenting work. Day after day. No days off for your feelings. No shortcuts for your laziness. You either execute or you don't. That's the game. And the reason most people never win is because they're too soft to keep going when it gets hard. Discipline is the weapon, not motivation, not hype. Discipline. Showing up on the days you don't feel like it. Doing the work when there's no applause. That's where the elite are made. In silence. While everyone else is sleeping, talking, wasting time, you're working. You're sharpening. You're climbing, not for attention, but for dominance. Because you understand something the weak never will. The grind is sacred. The pain is part of the payment. And success, real success, is earned with your sweat, not your excuses. If you're waiting for someone to push you, you've already lost. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to drag you to the top. That's your job. That's your responsibility. You want the life? Then you work for it. You want to win. Then you grind for it. And you don't stop just because it's hard. You embrace the hard. You welcome it. You let it mold you into something stronger. Because when everyone else breaks, you won't. When they quit, you'll still be there, pushing, working, building. That's the mindset that wins. Hard work is the only constant. It doesn't lie. It doesn't play favorites. It gives back exactly what you put in. That's why it's the ultimate truth. People will tell you to work smart, and that's fine. But working smart without working hard is like trying to light a fire with no fuel. It might spark, but it won't last. The real ones, they do both. They outthink and outwork everyone around them. That's how they win. That's how they stay on top. And if you're not willing to match that level of intensity, then don't complain when life passes you by. So stop dreaming and start doing. Stop hoping and start hustling. Because success doesn't come to the person who wants it most. It comes to the one who's willing to suffer for it longest. If you're not obsessed with the grind, you'll always be owned by someone who is. That's the cold truth. And the sooner you accept it, the faster you'll rise. Hard work is the cost. Pay it every day without fail. And eventually, life will give you what the lazy will never touch: power, freedom, and undeniable respect. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It's a beautiful trap wrapped in lies, distractions, and false rewards. It whispers that you're fine where you are, that you've done enough, that you deserve to rest. But comfort doesn't build empires. It doesn't forge warriors. It creates softness, laziness, and weakness. Look around. The people who are struggling the most are the ones who've chosen comfort over challenge. They avoid the grind because it's hard, so they settle into routines that feel good but produce nothing. They waste time scrolling, numbing their ambition, convincing themselves that they're taking a break, when in reality they're falling behind. Every second you spend comfortable is a second you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. Mentally, physically, emotionally. Most people don't even realize how deep they are in the comfort zone. It's not always about sleeping in or avoiding the gym. Sometimes it's staying at the same job for years because it's safe. Sometimes it's not speaking your mind because you don't want discomfort. It's choosing short-term ease over long-term reward. And every time you choose that, you're shrinking your potential. Comfort is seductive. It feeds you lies. It tells you to stay put, that the unknown is dangerous, that the risk is too much. But here's the truth. All the power, the money, the success, the evolution, it lives in the uncomfortable. It lives in early mornings, in hard workouts, in cold showers, in tough conversations, in failed businesses, in relentless self-discipline. You don't get there by accident. You get there by force, through deliberate discomfort. If you want to win in life, you need to become addicted to discomfort. You need to chase it, not avoid it. Embrace every difficult task. Volunteer for pressure. Run into challenges head on. Because the more discomfort you can handle, the more life you can control. You build confidence not by thinking positive, but by surviving difficult. Every time you push through the hard thing, your mind gets stronger. Your tolerance expands. Your power grows. And eventually, what crushed others becomes your warm-up. But none of that happens if you're still clinging to comfort like a security blanket. Success requires stress. Growth requires pain. Excellence is born through pressure. But most people want a smooth life. And that's exactly why they lose. They refuse to do what's necessary because it doesn't feel good right now. But you have to stop chasing what feels good and start chasing what builds you. That's the game. The gym hurts, but it builds you. Discipline stings, but it sharpens you. Late nights, early mornings, isolation, loss, all of it molds you into something greater. That pain becomes the foundation of your power. If you want to live like a king, you better be ready to suffer like a warrior. It's simple, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Stop expecting the process to feel nice. It won't. It's not supposed to. You're not here to be cozy. You're here to conquer. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. And if you stay there too long, so will your identity, your power, your future. Every time you step outside of it, even slightly, you level up. So make it a habit. Seek discomfort. Chase it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Because the life you actually want is hiding right behind everything you're scared to do. Everything that makes you sweat. Everything that challenges your character. The more you resist it, the longer you stay stuck. But the moment you lean into it, everything begins to change. Real power lives in the fire. Step into it. Let it burn off the weakness. Let it forge you. Let it set you free.